the highway you drove in on, the foundation to your house, the concrete in the new park downtown. All of these things have one thing in common that you probably never think of. Crushed stone and sand, also known as aggregates. Welcome to the Rock Record. Today we are going behind the scenes here in Arizona with Arcosa Aggregates to discover the hidden materials that literally build our society from the ground up. Every day, you probably drive past places like this without giving them a second thought or just a curious glance at what the heck is happening over there. But quarries like these are responsible for one of the most important construction materials on the planet.
In the U.S. alone, nearly 890 million tons of construction sand and gravel valued at $12 billion was produced in 2024, along with 1.5 billion tons of crushed stone worth $26 billion.
Having trouble picturing 1.5 billion tons of material? I was too. So instead, imagine 15,000 Washington monuments stacked side by side. Today, we are taking a behind-the-scenes tour here at Arcosa Aggregates in the Santan Valley of Arizona. They are one of the leading producers and distributors of construction materials in the entire United States. Today, we are going to discover how they take raw stone and turn it into the building blocks of our everyday infrastructure. So first off, I just want to say thank you to the entire Arcosa Aggregates team for having us out and showing us around their operation here. I do just want to say that I am not being paid by Arcosa in any way to be here. This is 100% just a behind-the-scenes tour to share with you all. So give them a big thank you as well in the comments. All right, so we are lucky enough to have Allie out here from Texas, Arcosa Aggregates
Director of Marketing and Communications.
Director of Marketing and Communications. That's a heck of a title. Okay, so first off, can you tell us a little bit about what your job is?
Yeah, so my job is really getting to celebrate all the great work that our employees are doing, and really bringing some of the stories out of the mining industry to life that talk about the communities that we work with and serve, as well as the people that really are helping make our infrastructure thrive.
I love that. What a fun job. How cool is that?
It is. I get to be the biggest cheerleader for the greatest group of people on the earth.
I love that so much. So before we dive in, as with any site, safety is the most important thing. So we're going to get a full site-specific training, suit up with all of our PPE, learn more about the site before actually heading out to any of the pits or plants.
So what exactly are aggregates? By definition, construction aggregate is different sizes of crushed stone. It's created by mining a suitable rock formation and then breaking down that rock to varying sizes using crushers. Crushed stone differs from gravel in that gravel has a more rounded shape and is made by natural processes of weathering and erosion. The types of rock used for aggregates include any stone that's sound and durable, meaning it can withstand freeze-thaw cycles, wide temperature ranges, and wear from water and ice. Common sources include granite, limestone, basalt, sandstone, and more.
Yeah, one thing I found really fascinating throughout our whole tour today, not only is how important aggregates are, but kind of how fascinating they are and kind of all the different use cases and industries they provide for. So can you tell us a little bit about some of those use cases that you guys are working on here?
Yeah, absolutely. So our aggregates mainly go to the construction industry. So we're business to business. That's our primary customer. And they use our aggregate products to make the concrete that's used to build our roads, our highways, our buildings, really critical to everything that's part of our modern life.
Craziness. I mean, it's so fascinating what they go into.
That means basically everywhere you look in a modern city, there's a good chance aggregates have played a crucial role in building it. So, what does this look like? Let's follow the journey of a rock as it transforms into a usable aggregate. It starts with careful geological assessment to find suitable rock formations. This kind of surprised me because it's very similar to my background in metals mining.
Sure. What is the deciding factor? Like, we're going to put, is a quarry, is that the proper term?
Yep.
We're going to put a quarry here.
Yep. Yeah. So, first of all, we look at the market and where we want to be. We want to be as close to the market as possible. And that could be everything from, jobs, the economy, the housing market, commercial construction, all that. We try to find the hot spots.
Okay.
And so if I were to look at another city like Las Vegas,
okay,
that's where I would start. What part of Las Vegas is where all the construction is going on, right?
Okay.
And then from there, I start looking at geologic deposits.
Right.
From there, the process begins with extraction. Depending on the operation, this might involve drilling and blasting to loosen the rock, or mechanical extraction if the material is softer.
Yeah, so if you look at just kind of the high wall here, you probably got, 60%
Okay.
above 3/8. So you've got everything from, 6-inch boulders down to the 3/8. That's 60%, probably 40% sand. And in that, we have some clay too.
Okay.
So being an alluvial deposit, if you kind of look around here, you kind of see the brown tint to it. You can certainly see a clay seam here. And that's a really good example. So a lot of times people will come in and what I call high grading a pit. So they'll take kind of this top piece out, and that's the real rocky stuff.
Okay.
And they'll ignore the finer stuff and the clay. But if you can see how we push down there,
Okay.
the whole idea is we're taking a nice cut of a little bit of everything.
Okay.
So we maximize our resource.
Okay. Interesting.
Which is incredibly difficult, and it's kind of a blend of art and science when you're in an alluvial pit.
From there, massive trucks transport the raw stone to crushing plants. This is where the transformation really begins. Primary crushers break down the large rocks into smaller pieces. This is just the first step in a series of crushing and screening operations that will sort the material into different sizes.
We've got two primary crushers down here, one that feeds our wash plant,
Okay.
and then we've got another that feeds the AB plant,
Okay.
so aggregate base.
Okay.
After the initial crush, the material moves through a series of screens and secondary crushers that further refine the size and shape. These screens separate the aggregates into specific gradations based on customer needs.
So two separate plants, two kind of a clean product and then a road-based product.
Okay. Interesting. Do you, you keep mentioning all these different numbers and stuff. Do you have giant sieves here that you put this through? Or okay.
Yeah. So, that's what this is. That's
Okay.
that screen deck
Okay.
is a giant sieve.
Okay.
Not all aggregate is created equal. Quality control is a critical part of this process.
So when you say it's high quality, what makes this rock higher quality than someplace else?
Consistency more than anything.
Okay. That's why I was like, it's slower rock.
But rock is not just rock. So
Okay.
you have strength, right? So
Yep.
for us, it's the LA abrasion, which is not a strength measurement.
Okay.
That's what everybody wants to call it. On our
Okay.
sand, it's durability.
Okay.
It's sand equivalent. That's a test for clay, things like that.
Okay.
So we just make a very high quality product.
The variety of products created here is remarkable. Let's take a look at some specific applications.
I mean, I guess they go into everything, right? So the pits here, because I read that different pits produce different sizes and those go into different things. So what are you guys doing within Queen Creek and Santan? What kind of gravels and stuff are we doing here?
So our customer base out of here is mostly concrete.
Okay.
So if you look at the alluvial deposits, they really favor, because of you've just got so much sand.
Okay.
It really favors the concrete industry.
Okay.
When you get into shot rock, hard rock, now you're starting with less fines, less
Okay.
minus 3/8. It's all kind of this,
Okay.
right? Now the fines come out, we sell that for road base,
Okay.
but now you can supply asphalt, which asphalt wants a lot of individual sizes.
Okay. Interesting.
So and if you got into the ASTM spec, concrete's going to use 57s, like a number 8 or number 89, and then sand.
Okay.
And then, again, looking at ASTM specs, an asphalt customer is going to use like a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8 or 89, and then crusher fines and sand.
Okay.
So you see it's a lot more broken out.
Absolutely, yeah.
One really interesting aspect of the aggregate industry is how transportation affects everything.
A fascinating statistic here is that aggregates don't generally travel more than 30 miles outside of their communities. So what does that mean? It means that these materials are going directly into the communities that they serve. That keeps costs down. It means faster turnaround for projects because those materials are right here. They're not being shipped in from other places, etc.
Transportation logistics are an integral part of aggregate quarry operations and marketing. To remain profitable and competitive, operators must optimize all transportation modes and delivery destinations from each quarry. But a modern aggregate operation isn't just about extraction. Arcosa and companies like it are deeply invested in the communities where they operate.
What does it look like as an Arcosa employee? What are some of the drivers that bring people into your company?
Yeah, so one of the things we really want to focus on being in this industry is that we're good neighbors. We're good participants in our community. So showing up to community events. We recently were in the Phoenix market, attended a Hometown Heroes event where we were able to bring out our mechanic truck and really just share a little bit about what we do to the communities and really frame our employees as, you know, a non-traditional hero that you might see, in addition to all of the traditional nurses, firefighters, police officers, etc. So that's one of the things we really try and focus on. Our number one priority here at Arcosa is safety. So making sure that we're creating a positive safety environment where we find people doing the right thing and really highlights the fact that everybody does what they can and nobody wants to get hurt. So really just making sure that we can identify when people are doing the right thing, keeping it positive, and encouraging more of that.
The aggregate industry has evolved significantly over the decades. Today's operations incorporate sophisticated environmental controls, water management systems, and detailed reclamation plans.
Every mine has to have a reclamation plan.
Right.
And in Arizona, a lot of alluvial deposits are just simply sloping. So I talked earlier about our mine plan department and what we're doing.
Yeah.
We will determine the most economical way because we have to take care of it when we leave it. Yeah. So are we going to make it a golf course? Are we going to slope it and just use it for drainage? Is it,
okay.
What's the future plan for each site?
Okay. So sloping is more of a drive. So it's just going to make it more of like a gradual hill type
Correct.
thing? Okay.
Correct.
I like the golf course idea. That's fun.
So there's actually down in Tucson.
Okay.
There's an old CEMEX quarry that's now a golf course. It's called the Quarry Golf Course.
Love it.
The back side of it, you can tell. I mean, you literally hit shots over the high wall. San Antonio has a quarry course.
Yeah.
I've played that.
They also have one of the Six Flags locations is an old quarry.
Okay.
No way.
Plus, the aggregate industry provides essential jobs across the country with diverse career paths available.
One thing that we talked a lot about on this tour was the fact that you don't need some like a high-end PhD or whatever. You guys do a lot of on-the-job training. There's lots of opportunity for different jobs within the operations. I think that's just so cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the main things we're looking for when we hire is somebody who's willing to be part of a team, somebody that's, really willing to grab the bull by the horns and take on what the industry throws at it. There's great opportunities for career pathing and career making, even if you're just starting out and know nothing about the industry.
If people want to know more, ask questions, maybe get a job at one of your quarries, I know you're the director of communications, so we have social media, but how else can they contact you?
Yeah, so of course, social media is my number one go-to, but you're welcome to visit our website, arcosa.com/jobs, and learn a little bit more about what we have, what our benefits are, which are great benefits. A stable industry is always a good plus too, so.
Awesome. Yeah, so all of those links and information will be posted in the description below, so be sure to check that out. So we only visited one of the operations that Arcosa has here in Phoenix, and you have a lot more here and around, so can you tell us like a little bit about everywhere you got going on?
Absolutely. We are so lucky that we've had incredible growth over the last 6 years that we've been in operation. So here in the Phoenix Metroplex area, we have 10 different locations. And then across the United States, we have upwards of 50, but we're spanning coast to coast from Washington, Texas, Louisiana, all the way through Florida and up into the New Jersey, Pennsylvania market. So we have little touch points everywhere, which really allows us to provide what we need for our customers.
I love that. The customers and the communities for sure. So if you want to see more locations, because everyone is a little bit different, we understand, let us know in the comments which state we should go visit next, and we'll see if Allie can hook us up with a tour there as well.
Absolutely.
So the next time you drive down the highway, walk on a sidewalk, or enter a building, think about the hidden infrastructure beneath your feet. There is a good chance that the materials for that came from operations just like this one, or this one specifically. You never know if you're in the Phoenix area. Aggregates themselves may not be as glamorous as precious metals like gold or critical minerals, but they are literally the foundation blocks that our society is built on. I just want to take a second to thank the entire Arcosa team for having us out and showing us how these important materials are produced. It was a great site, and I hope you all enjoyed the behind-the-scenes tour that we had today.
As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on our next geological adventure.